prednisone for lung disease or rheumatoid arthritis. Anyone have friends that do that? If you ever check their bones, they've lost quite a bit of bone if they've taken those things for a long time. So a high cortisol level is much less intense is what it does because it's not as strong, but it's very similar to prednisone. It's about 1/4 the strength of prednisone. Supports skin health, increases the actual thickness of the skin, hydration, how much fluid is in the skin, sebum production, and decreases facial skin pigmentation. What are they called? Aging spots. Female, same as male, really. Doesn't really matter, male or female. Supports menopause or perimenopause. Reduces hot flashes, supports vaginal tissue. What happens through menopause? The vaginal cells actually atrophy. They die. So you get vaginal dryness. I've had many women come in that couldn't have intercourse because the vagina actually shrunk up. Very tough to get that back sometimes. We use estrogen and testosterone locally, and that often will stimulate regrowth of tissue. Melatonin. You know, we've all heard about melatonin, but we always go, oh, melatonin. It's too cheap, can't do much. Very good for sleep. It's a very strong antioxidant, and it's a very good anti-cancer hormone. Great sleep aid. Some people actually have very vivid dreams with melatonin, so they stop taking it for that reason. Very few, though. More often, people get a good night's sleep. What I tell people to do with any sleeping preparation is to take it before you go to sleep and then have it out on your countertop with a glass of water so you can take it again in the middle of the night if you wake up. Sometimes people fall asleep very easily. They don't need anything, but then they wake up later. So why take your medicine or your supplement before you go to sleep if you don't need to? Take it when you need it. Lowers blood cholesterol, potent scavenger of free radicals. We kind of hear the same thing over and over with different hormones. The typical, right? Start out when you're young, it's very high, and melatonin drops. Don't we always hear that when people age, they don't need as much sleep? Well, the people I know that are aging seem to need more sleep. They just can't get it. Tryptophan was taken off the market for a while, caused eosinophilic myalgia, which meant there was muscle necrosis. It wasn't from the tryptophan. It was made in a bathtub, and it had some pollutants in it. So it was a one-shot deal. The government made a big deal, took it off the market. It's obtainable now. But the process of it is 5-HTP is converted from tryptophan, so we give people 5-HTP or tryptophan, creates serotonin. It's the feel-good hormone. Why do people love chocolate? They get a little serotonin rush. And then we get melatonin from all of these. So we want to improve sleep quality. Sleep quality obviously is, again, one of the backbones of optimum health, especially during aging, which is especially all the time for everybody when you think about it. Relieves certain types of depression, such as seasonal affective disorder. Anybody gets sad when the sunlight goes down in the wintertime when there's not many hours? I do. I don't like that. I like to get out of my office and go running and have the sun there. So wintertime is a tough time for me. So melatonin may support growth hormone supplementation, stimulate the immune system, increase antioxidant defenses. Can reduce migraines, protect the liver against toxic injury, alleviate glaucoma, reduce stress hormones, reduce blood pressure. Great cheap pill to take. It's a great hormone. So in summary, with all this process, what are we really coming down to? We know that correcting hormone deficiencies when coupled with the right nutritional exercise programs improves quality of life. That's what we all want. A lot of people go, I don't really care how long I live, but while I'm here, I want to feel great. Other people say, I just want to live long. That's their thing. But most people want to feel good while they're living long. Extends health span, eliminates central obesity, increases aerobic capacity, increases lean muscle mass, lowers cardiac risk factors, prevents and reverses osteoporosis, prevents or cures type 2 diabetes, delays or prevents cognitive decline in Alzheimer's disease, improves mood, improves sex life and intimacy. So I don't know anyone who doesn't want all of these things. I really don't. I haven't found anyone yet. And they're all attainable if you want them. This is part of the cascade of our hormones. It's very complex. Interestingly enough, cholesterol is the basic core of what our hormones are made from. It's what our cells are made out of. We need a lot of cholesterol in our systems. There's a new rage to take statin drugs to lower it. Why? Less heart attacks. Is that true? It is true. Is there less death? No. The people that lower their cholesterol through drugs end up, believe it or not, and I didn't believe it when I read about it, new study came out, I saw it in the newspaper a while back, die at the same rate from trauma, suicide, things that you wouldn't imagine. And why would it shift over? I don't have the answer, but it does. So we get no actual benefit from the statin drugs. We get actual hormone loss from it. We get muscle pain. We get all kinds of problems. I had a doctor come into my office one time, a dentist, and his hands were immobile. He was taking methotrexate, which is a very strong anti-rheumatoid arthritis drug. I looked at his hands. I said, "You don't have rheumatoid arthritis. Why are you taking that?" He said, "Yes, I do. I went to 2 rheumatologists." I said, "But it didn't show up in your blood, right?" He said, "No. Didn't show up in my blood. It's what they called seronegative, meaning the blood didn't show it. But I've got it. I can't use the drill. I'm out of practice." I didn't ask him the question, which I should have, and he didn't tell me when I asked him what medicines he took. It was sometime down the track when he wasn't getting better, when I said, "Do you take a statin drug?" And he said, "Yeah, I take Lipitor." And I said, "Think back and tell me when you started taking it." And he told me it was, I forget what it was, 6 months ago. And I said, "When did your hands start hurting?" And then the light went off in his head. And he went, "Oh my God, I started taking that medicine and then my hands started hurting." And I said, "I want you to stop it for a week." He said, "I can't, I have high cholesterol." I looked at his cholesterol labs, they were normal. He stopped and he came in the office and he was lit up like a lamp. And he said, it was the Lipitor that caused the fake rheumatoid arthritis. Never had rheumatoid arthritis. We get a lot of people that come in with pain from statin drugs, so be careful of them. So cholesterol is very important. We need tons of it. Breaks down to pregnenolone, which is the hormone for the brain I mentioned, converts to progesterone, aldosterone, cortisol, DHEA, androstenedione, I mentioned that, estrone, estradiol, testosterone, dihydrotestosterone. This list really goes on and on. If we were ever to look at a complete picture of it, it would be a maze that would make it very impossible for you to understand, because there's just so many levels between all these, so many pathways, so many metabolic pathways between them, that it's very confusing. But the main point of this evening is really that we all have more to go in our pursuit of joy and happiness through what we can do with our health. And it's really endless to the amount that we can do, depending how much time we want to spend, how disciplined we are. And every time we do something that's positive for us, it's a gain. It doesn't mean we have to do this every day. Okay? Some people do it a little bit. But everybody who does it gets results, and that's the most important thing. You have to do it to get results. I can show you the way. I can't do it for you. I don't have a little webcam at your house watching you. And I don't want to ever put anyone down for not doing it, because we all live in our own temples here and we get to take care of them if we want to. But I can guarantee that quality of health is an important thing that you can all have.